It is without a doubt that 3D printing is trending right now, and there are so many new small businesses as well as crafters or hobbyists who purchase their own 3D print machine but don't know how to make their own files, so they grab it from other people who make STL files or 3D print files to make their creations. And if you're here, you're probably trying to learn how to make your own files if you don't want to keep buying them from other people, which is not a problem. And if you click this video and you're here, you're probably wondering how to make your own as a beginner with no experience. And honestly, there are lots of different programs that you can use to make your own files, but today we're going to use Tinkercad.com. It is online, so you don't have to download anything as far as I know. And in my opinion, it's perfect for beginners. There's also some apps that you can use to draw and manually sculpt 3D models. However, I'm not very good at that. We're just gonna do our beginner thing. Also, before we get into the tutorial, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like button and let me know what you are trying to 3D print in the comments below so that I can hopefully make some more tutorials for you. Here I have Tinkercad open, and a little trick I like to use is I hold down the right click button, and that allows me to drag if I want to move my plane to the left or the right, and I zoom in and out by scrolling up or down. On the right hand side are all of the shapes they have available. We'll be using what they have available. You can always turn your own sketches into 3D print files, but as a beginner tutorial we'll just use whatever Tinkercad has already. Feel free to explore this area. They have letters, they have other shapes, they have everyday objects you can use as mock-ups, but just know that that's where it is. Our first step is to navigate to the settings, which is on the bottom right hand corner. You want to click this, and this is where you can adjust your background color. I usually like to make mine pink, but you can make yours any color you want. And it usually updates once you click away from the tab, so set your color, click away, and the background should update. This part is completely optional, but I am changing my units to inches. It just helps me make sure that my sizes are what I want them to be. I also changed the settings for my snap grid because I want it to be easier for me to maneuver certain objects without it snapping into place quickly. You can either use this cube or the cylinder shape. All you have to do is drag it or click it, move your mouse, and then click where you want to place it. This is what the two looks like. Today I'm using the cube one, which will turn into a rectangle in a bit. Every time you click an object, a little tab pops up right here. You can play around with the different settings and see what you like best or see how it works just to get a better feel for these settings. From that same exact tab, you can change the color of your object. Click the color circle at the top and you click whatever color you want it to be. Of course, I had to make mine pink because I love pink and I make everything pink. You can see there's these little selection squares when you click an object, and each one is a different setting for whatever side of the shape you have. We want to make sure that our sides are equal, and we want them to be 3 inches each. You can either click the corner square and type it in manually, or you can drag it and hold shift. That way it'll lock the ratio and keep all sides equal no matter how big you drag it. The next step is to increase the height of our object. You'll see a square pop up in the middle, and you'll see a line in the middle of your object. If you drag that square up, it'll make it taller, but don't click the arrow that you see. There's a square and there's the arrow. If you click the arrow, it'll lift the entire object. So just make sure that you click the square because that is what makes the height taller. I made mine about 4 inches tall, but you can make it shorter or taller depending on the size of the pencil holder you want it to be. Our next step is to create that hole in the middle that holds the pencils in. Right here on the top right, you'll see these shapes with the stripes on them. That's what will create the hole in it. You can use the other shapes to create a hole in it, but this is the easier way. Drag that to the top of the surface of our rectangle, and from here we can kind of center it. You can do it at the bottom, but I feel like it's easier to do it here because you can see it clearly. Remember to hold shift when you drag a corner because it'll keep all of these sides the same. If you don't hold shift, it'll make it either longer or wider. You can have it that way, but this is just how I'm doing it. I also recommend that you constantly rotate your project to make sure sides are even. If one wall seems a bit thicker than the others, you probably just have to center it. Once you're happy with the size of the expected hole and you look around, it should look like this. The solid shape should be at the bottom and the striped shape should be at the top. All we have to do is make this taller, which is the same exact thing we did for our original rectangle, but you click on the striped shape and there should be a square in the middle. If you don't see, you might have to maneuver your canvas a bit. It will always be right next to the arrow one. You don't want to pull it all the way through, because if you do, it'll just result in a hole going all the way through the pencil holder and nothing to hold the pencils. Your pencils will just fall right through. So do it until you have a thick enough bottom surface. Once you are satisfied with that, you can select all and then group them together with this group selection at the top right. After you do that, you'll see it created a hole in it and it looks more like a pencil holder. The next step is to decorate the outside. I decided to add this heart that they had. You can just drag it straight to your pencil holder and it'll snap on the wall. If you don't want it to be too thick, you can see the width of the heart is a bit thick. You can do the same exact thing by dragging that middle square down to make it shorter. Now use all of the skills that you just learned, creating our rectangle and creating the hole in the rectangle, to decorate the outside. Make sure that the height of any designs that you have on the outside of the pencil holder is the same height, or else it'll look bumpy. This is how mine looked. I think it came out really cute. I wanted to make it look kind of like a cat. I could have added whiskers, but I just wanted to keep it nice and simple. Before you export it as an STL file, make sure you select all and then group it. I also made these cute 3D pencils using the shapes that they have available. If you're trying to sell STL files, or if you're trying to sell custom 3D printed items, creating mockups is a great thing to do because your potential customers can see how it's in use, and it's better to have different angles of it and how it looks before printing. I'll also be posting more tutorials for how to create things like this for your small business, whether to add more to your small business or to start one and grow. Just remember to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my small business and crafty tips and tutorials. Once you follow all of the tutorials and get better, you can slowly upgrade it more and more, creating more detailed designs like this that I made. This one is actually made for my drawing, and I might film a tutorial for how to turn your drawing into 3D files soon. Stay tuned for that. If you're interested in some of my files for 3D printing, or for UVDTF or DTF transfer printing, or even custom apparel making, I also make seamless patterns for fabrics if you're trying to do print on demand. Thank you so much for giving me your time of day and for watching, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video.